Shabbat Shalom. Baruch et Yahweh. Baruch et Yahweh HaMevorach. Baruch atah Yahweh HaMevorach le'elam va'ed. Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bekar banu makol hamayim v'natan lanu ha-torah. Baruch atah Yahweh notan ha-torah. That is to say, blessed be Yahweh. Blessed be Yahweh, the blessed one. Blessed are you, Yahweh, the blessed one for all eternity. Blessed are you, Yahweh, our Elohim, King of the universe, who selected us from all the peoples and gave your short torah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, giver of the torah, to our King, to our Elohim, to our Savior, our deliverer, our coverer, our healer, our provider, our sustainer, and the giver of all life. Do we come to you today, Master, thanking you for all things, thanking you for life, health, and strength, food, clothing, and shelter, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We ask, Master, that you will forgive us of our sins, cleanse us of unrighteousness, that our prayers be not hindered this morning. Hear our cries, O King. We ask that you would bend ear to our supplications this morning and turn not a deaf ear, O Master. O Master, we ask that you will look upon us and that the meditation of our heart and the words of our mouth be pleasing to thy sight. We come to you today, Master, to bless you this day, for it is the seventh day and it is our day of rest. And we are here because we are in covenant with you, O King. We ask that you will look upon us with favor. Have mercy upon us, Master. Have mercy upon our children and speak kind words towards us. We thank you that you have brought us out and took us out of idolatry and brought us out here today because you have ordered us to congregate on this day. And we are here out of obedience to you, out of our love for you, O King, and out of our fear of you. So we ask that you would speak kind words towards us and continue to have mercies on us that you provided all week. We thank you that you have guarded our children, that you have covered them, that you have brought them home safely, that you have healed us, O King. You have healed us in our bodies, you have healed us in our minds, you have taken us out of idolatry, and you continue to teach us, Master. You continue to educate us in your Torah, and we thank you for that, for our righteousness lies in your Torah. Oh, Master, we thank you. We ask that you would accept our worship of you today, that our praises would go up as a sweet-smelling savor to you, that you would see our hearts, Master, that we love you and that we are in love with you, O King. Continue to provide for us, O King, and you know the desires of all of our hearts that are here. You have provided all of our needs, Master, but you said that in the day that you're going to make a separation between them that serve you and them that do not. We ask that you have made that separation right now, O King, and that you continue to make that separation, that we curry favor in thy sight until we meet here again. This is our prayer.
My fault. It's good to have a good director that got good sign language. You know, he know how to use his hands. He's doing this. I was like, it ain't me, but it's me. Once again, Shabbat Shalom to all of you and those who are watching by stream and those of you who are on in the chat room. Our Atlanta-based congregation, I say to you, Shabbat Shalom. May the peace of Yahweh be with you. May he bring you joy, peace, and happiness to you. I have to explain something. This song I'm about to do is called Home. It took me a while to write this simple expression of love and of gratitude for who I am as a Hebrew. But it also takes me back to my mother. Because all she ever said as she was getting weak, I just want to go home. And she knew that her body would be in a state of rest. She knew that because we've been taught that. Her desire was just to go home. And this song reminds me of her. And it took me a long time to write this simple expression of love for my Yah. Just to identify with me with confidence who I am, who we are, and where we're going. I bring you home. Who are you? Who are your people? Who are your ancestors? Who is your king? Where is your land of milk and honey? Where is your land? But there is joy in the city, peace and love forevermore. And King David will reign forever, and we shall rest on that beautiful shore. Who are you? Who are your people? Who are your ancestors? Who is your king? Where is your land of milk and honey? Who is your Savior? The great I am. For there is joy in the city, peace and love forevermore. And King David will reign forever. for sure. Here we go. Who are you? Who are your people? Who are your ancestors? Who is your king? Where is your land? Hey, of milk and honey. Who is your Savior? The great I am. Where there is joy in the city, peace and love forevermore. King David will reign forever, and we shall rest on that beauty for sure. And we shall rest on that beauty for sure. And we shall rest on that beauty for sure. I want to go home. 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 I want to go home. 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 I want to go home. There is joy in the city, peace and love forevermore. And King David will reign forever, and we'll find rest on that beauty for sure. And we'll find rest on that beauty for sure. And we'll find rest on that beauty for sure. Come on, come on. Do you want to go home? Come on. We say home, home, home. I want to go home. Come on. Home, home, home. I want to go home. I love you. I love you, Yah, today, because such a special way. And yes, I praise you. I lift you up. I magnify your name. That's why my heart is filled with praise. Come on. I love you. I love you. I love you, Yah, today. Because you care for me in such a special way. And yes, I praise you. I lift you up. I magnify your name. That's why my heart is filled with praise. Hey. That's why my heart is filled with praise. My heart, my mind, my soul belongs to you because you paid the price when you raised me from the dead. I lift you up. That's why my heart is filled with praise. Come on, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing. That's why my heart is filled with praise. Elohim, I give you praise. Elohim, I give you praise. With my hands lifted up, with my voice I sing, Elohim, I give you praise. 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 With my hands lifted up, with my voice I sing, Elohim, I give you praise. Elohim, I give you praise. Oh, let your spirit fill this temple. Oh, you are worthy to be praised. Oh, let our voices sound with triumph. Oh, you are worthy to be praised. You are worthy to be praised. That you are worthy to. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same, Elohim, we give you praise. Elohim, we give you praise. Shabbat shalom. I don't know what happened, but I really do. I really hope you enjoyed that song, Home. Thank you. Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to everybody. It's good to be here once again with you to talk about the wonderful things that reside in the Most High's scriptures. There's nothing like understanding Yahweh and His words that He gives to us. Understanding of teaching, expressing to us His love. Do you realize that the words of the Most High that He's given to us are an expression of His love? They are an expression of His love to His people. And I can understand why it is that they can captivate your mind. If your mind is set on that, they can captivate your mind. Colleen Appleton and I were talking Wednesday how the Father's word can change what you do, can change how you think. And when it really grabs you, that's all you want to do. All you want to do is study and get an understanding of His word. The more of an understanding that you and I get of His word, the better we're able to know Him. You can't know Him outside of His word. Can't. You can't have a relationship with Him outside of His word. His word. I gotta be specific so that you understand we're talking about Yahweh's word. We live in His house. This world is His house. Just calls it His footstool. He has created it for us. And understanding Him, His way of life, and understanding that everything He's given to us as an offering of His love. The greater impact of the Father is to be able to understand His love for you. That's kind of hard to fathom. When you think about how we as people function with each other, little things set us off. Little things cause us to be disconnected from each other. Little things. It is a great issue when we, as his children, or also as his wife, as he has so stated to us in text, we can be his children, we can be his wife, we can be his opulent nation. When we disconnect from him and treat him and treat the Spirit as though it is nothing, cast it off as though it's nothing. And yet, in the midst of all of that, he comes back and he tells us how much he loves us. Think about that. Think about that. We disconnect from each other. We are become at odds with each other over something that you didn't even give me. You can give me life. Give me breath. Didn't give me the ability to function, to move. You can give me that. He did. He wakes us up every morning. And here's what you forget that he gives us every morning. He renews his Spirit in us every morning that we wake up. We don't wake up in the morning with the same spirit we had when we laid down. He says, I renew your spirit. Come on, y'all. Come on now. We're talking about our Redeemer. We're talking about our Savior. We're talking about somebody, a spirit that is given to his people everything that is special. There is not another ethnicity of people on the face of the globe that have what you have. You have an inheritance. No other ethnicity on the face of the globe have the inheritance that you have. I'm not talking about what the inheritance you're going to get from your mom and daddy. Some of you ain't going to get nothing. But the Most High has promised to you Hebrew people land. Land. Not just any land, but a land that flows. And he's so particular about your land. That when he excommunicated you out of it. He protected it by making it desolate so nobody else could live on it. Made it to lie fallow, desolate. So nobody else could live on what he gave to you. Think about that. Think about that. And in the midst of the fact that we have been hard-headed, stiff-necked, rebellious, and worshiped other gods, in the midst of all that, he still shows us his love. And not only does he show us his love, but he promises us something. Last week's lesson, he said, I'm never ever going to treat you with disdain, and I'm never ever going to do to you what I've done in the past. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, you deserve it. We deserved it. He said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to extend to you the grace that I gave to King David. Okay. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk about the Father. You probably wonder, well, why is it hard for you to talk about the Father? Because in some respects, he reminds me of my father. I didn't always do what was right in his eyes. I never disrespected him. I loved him. But I know sometimes I made him angry. Sometimes I know I gave him pain and anguish. Yet and still, he loved me. So when I think about talking about the Most High, and particularly as I deal with this lesson in Yeshayahu, I stop and think about how the Father thinks about us. I think about how much he loves us when he makes statements like, I'll give nations for you. I'll take them out for you. What can you move? What can we move for each other? What can we move for each other? What? In order to demonstrate the intense love, what can we move for each other? What can we give up for each other? Have you thought, what can I really give up for you? What can you really give up for me? The Most High says, I give nations for you. And not only will I give nations for you, I will extend to you the grace that I gave to King David. Think about it. What can we give to each other? What? Respect. Okay. The ability to forgive. The ability to understand that we're all human beings and we're subject to error. But the Most High doesn't err. There is no failing. There is no failure in him. And everything that he does, that Spirit does, everything that Spirit does, he has done it for Hebrew Israel and nobody else. I want you to think about that. And he gives us days and times and seasons to honor him. If I said to you, I want you to honor my day, you would say, man, that dude's got an eagle this big. When you are responsible for everything and you have created everything, you have the right to have an ego. When you are the one that gives breath and life to what you have created, you have a right to have expectations and you have a right to have an ego. Think about it. I don't have a right to have an ego. I don't have a right to be exalted. I don't have a right to be lifted up. I don't have a right to think I'm somebody. Because I got a mega church. I don't have that right. The Most High has a mega world. Beat that. The hills and the mountains skip before him. The elements in the sky dance at his command. The planets stay in their place. The moon, the sun, stays in its place. It acts according to what he has said. And he doesn't have to repeat, oh, hey, son, what's wrong with you? You're supposed to be up and shining. Oh, I forgot. No. Sun says, I rise in the east and I move at the commands of the Most High. And he only had to tell me that one time. The stars come out on a clear day and you're able to see them twinkling in the atmosphere. Because the Most High said, shine one time. We're able to see a moon that brightens the sky at night. Most High doesn't have to tell the moon, hey moon, what you doing? Hey, it's nighttime. Time for you to make your appearance. I have to tell him one time. Think about that. You and I, he has to give us constant reminders. And then in giving us constant reminders, we then act with transgression toward him and arrogance, as if I really don't need you. The righteous person perishes, and nobody gives it a thought. Set apart men are taken away, and no one understands that the righteous person is taken away from the evil yet to come. So as we look at this opening text in chapter number 57, we have to ask ourselves some questions. It opens with an explanation of how the righteous person is seen in the mind of Yahweh. The overall meaning of this text that there is evidence in the world that there is more evil to come. We say that this person left too soon. The Most High says no. Because you don't know the heart of a person. The Most High does. I see the heart. And I try the reins of the heart. I know what's in a person. What you don't know, you don't see, and you don't know what I know. Just because a person doesn't come to church every Sunday, doesn't come to Sabbath every Sabbath day, doesn't mean that the Most High doesn't see their heart. He sees their motive and their intent. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe they're like him. I'd like to go and hang out with people, but you know, they so evil and wicked, and they get pissed at you for nothing, and they just come and go and don't even give you a reason for why they come and go. They just do what they do, and then when they leave, they want to badmouth you and talk about you. Maybe that's the reason why some of the righteous people don't hang out with the so-called righteous people. They'd rather live by themselves and not be bothered. The Most High says, the righteous person is taken away from the evil yet to come. Hell looks at his tzaddikim, righteous people, in a way that causes them to rest in peace before the evil becomes severe. Let's listen to the words of the prophetess Huldah as she speaks to King Josiah in 2 Kings chapter 22 and verse 20. Therefore, I will gather you to your ancestors. You will go to your grave in peace, and your eyes will not see all the calamity I am going to bring on this place. There's trouble. There's trouble in the land. And some of the trouble that happens to be so perversive in the land, the Most High chooses his righteous people to spare them from that trouble. I'd like to believe that Sister Mary would still be here. I'd like to believe that he saw the trouble long down the road. I like to believe that he realized that what was going on in her body was not going to be able to deal with the trouble that was going to come about. I'd like to believe that. Oh, because she was righteous. Wasn't perfect. None of us are perfect. But sometimes we try to judge people within the structure of our own eyes and our own mind. When our own house is dirty. A house is not clean just because you dust the furniture. A house is not clean just because you clean the bathroom. A house is clean when all the cracks and all the crannies and all the places that dirt can arrive and sit and be are removed. She couldn't have taken COVID. Couldn't have taken it. She was young enough to still be here. Yes, this text right here, that text right there, that one right there. I want you to focus on verse 2. Those who live uprightly will have peace as they rest on their couches. Who's going to know? Who's going to know if you have peace? Nobody. You. That whole discussion is going to take place with you and the Most High. I have to clear my mind of everything that doesn't cause me to live uprightly in the eyes of the Most High. I have to clear my mind of that. Remember, I talked about guarding your soul? I can't allow things to get into my soul and into my spirit that will take me away from this. Because we don't understand the elements and the intricacies of entering into death. Don't understand it. And the reason why we don't understand it is because we don't have nobody to testify to us about what's going on. Some people will have peace as they rest on their couches because they have lived uprightly before the Most High. So you can't look at your life and just live any kind of way. You can't act and talk any kind of way, which is the reason why the Most High has given us mitzvot and laws and rules. So your motor can run good. You know, I give you the example of you buy a car and they give you a manual. Tell you, this car is supposed to run for X number of miles. If you do what? If you follow the rules of the manual that I put in here as to how this vehicle is supposed to function. The Most High has given us torah to keep our mind and our soul and our spirit in an upright place. So we're able to learn how to treat our fellow man and each other and live in harmony and peace with each other. And realize something about him. I've done everything that's against his law. I just got on board. I lived for over 50 years being in opposition to the Most High. How long did you live? In opposition to the Most High. Thinking you were doing the right thing because men told you were doing the right thing, and we did the bobblehead. And then the Most High woke us up because he saw your spirit and recognized in your spirit and your soul that your soul was in opposition to your flesh, and your soul was warring against your flesh. And you and I were tossing and turning at night trying to figure out what's going on. What's wrong? And you're picking up your word and you're reading it, and it's not making any sense to you. When the Most High says, stop. Just stop. Open your book and go to the beginning and start reading. And hear what I have to say. Stop running to and fro to this religion and that religion and this religion. Well, I'm studying this one, I'm studying that one, well, I'm studying this one. And the Most High said, you're not studying the right thing. I've given you something. I've given, oh, good, my goodness. I've given you something that's more precious than silver and gold. I've given you something that will cause you to do what I intended in the beginning. And that is that you should live and have eternal life. I've given you substantive matter that if you'll learn it and you'll pay attention to it, you'll never die. I'm not talking about flesh, I'm talking about soul and spirit. This is corruptible. But I've given you something that's incorruptible, that if you will pay attention to me, it will never go away. You can't buy it. Your wealth can't change the outcome. The only thing that can change the outcome is the love that he gave us when he gave us Torah and our understanding of its application. But you witches, he gets graphic here. He gets real graphic here. He comes from righteous and upright persons to you witches. Children, come here. You spawn off adulterers and whores. You who are making fun, at whom are you laughing and sticking out your tongue? Aren't you rebellious children? Just a brood of liars. Hey. He's not talking to the nations. He's not talking to the nations. He's talking to Hebrew Israel. You witches, you brood. The language spoken here is an opening text states that the righteous people have perished and are taken away. Now the writer expresses the fate and the actions of the wicked people and their children. The verses that follow are a continuation of the chastising of the wicked people who are left after our redemption. Primarily, as we listen to the verbiage, it's not just the nations, but it's also idolatrous Israel. As we read verses 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, the language is a metaphor for idolatrous worship. You go into the heat among the oak trees. Under every spreading tree, you kill the children in the valleys under the cracks and rocks. The language is descriptive of people who can't help themselves, have this need for idolatrous functioning and heat. You go into heat. Dogs and cats go into heat. You go, wow, the dog's in heat. He's trying to hump everything he come in contact with, even the couch. And you, under every spreading tree, because this is what Israel did. Now he's given us a picture here of how Israel functioned in their idolatrous state. They begin to function like the nations, worshiping under trees and on high mountains. He said, you spread. You kill the children in the valleys under the cracks in the rocks. Because you saw the Canaanites do that, and you wanted to be like them, so you started doing the same thing they're doing. Your place is among the smooth stones and the valley. These are what you deserve. You pour out a drink offerings to them. You offer grain offerings to them. Should I calmly ignore these things? All of this is talking about idolatrous worship. Should I calmly ignore these things? You set your bed on a high, lofty mountain. You also went up there to offer sacrifices. Behind door and doorposts, you set up your lewd memorials, your idols. Then, far from me, when he talks about far, your mind is far from me. You uncovered your bed, climbed up on it, and opened it wide, and made an agreement with some of them whose bed you loved when you saw their hand beckoning. That's a picture of a whore standing on the corner. And you, with your dumb behind, you couldn't resist. Because you're so promiscuous in your body and your thought, you couldn't resist the idolatrous beckoning. Hey, come over here. Come over here. You went to the king with scented oil. That's not talking about the Most High. And you added to your perfumes. You sent your envoys far away, even down into Sheol. You didn't consider anything. Your thoughts are so far from me that you're doing stuff that's like, what? What? This is what you would say. This is what you would say. What? What? What are you doing? Even you're surprised. Though worn out by so much travel. What kind of travel? Well, I gotta go up to the mountain. I I got to go up to worship. I got to go up to do my thing. You didn't say all hope is gone. Rather, finding your strength renewed, you didn't even grow weak. You didn't even ask the question, of whom have you been so afraid, so fearful that you lied? Now, what's the lie? What's the lie? The lie is germane to your act of worship. See, what'd you say, Kiki? Kiki already know where I'm going. When you go across the street, you're dealing with the lie. But your heart and your mind are so far from me, you can't even recognize. You don't even give a thought. You don't even remember. Has it been? Is the problem? The Most High says, is the problem me? Am I the problem? How could I be the problem? Is it my fault that I have held my peace so long that you no longer fear me? Let me give you a classic example of my mother and discipline. My mother was much different in discipline than my father. It wasn't that I didn't fear my father. I did. But I knew that my father was going to act differently with me concerning my transgressions. My mother never held her peace. I feared her out of the fact that a little 5'4" woman was going to take out retribution on me and then tell me, I don't care if you do tell your father. Because I knew I could tell my father and everything would be all right. The Most High says, well, your lack of fear for me and being afraid has been because I have held my peace so long that you no longer fear me. I haven't brought any kind of retribution. I haven't brought any chastisement. I haven't whooped your behind. It's been a long time since I came against you that you have forgotten. Well, let me tell you how I'm going to deal with that. I am going to expose your so-called righteousness, and what you have done won't help you. I'm going to expose your idolatry. I'm going to expose that which you call righteousness. I'm going to expose it. I'm going to expose it in a way that your righteousness that you claim you have will not help you. In other words, you've been worshiping on the mountain, the trees, the oblats, the stones. You've been worshiping them, okay? That's your righteousness? I'm going to lay something on you. Since I've been silent and you've lost your fear, I'm going to lay something on you. I'm going to expose your righteousness, and then I'm going to let you know that what you have been worshiping, that as your righteousness that you have done, will not help you. Hey. How many Christians do you think are in the world? How many Christians do you think are in America? No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Why are they killing us? Why are they treating us so badly? Why is it that we can't? Well, hello, you got your God. Come on, prophet. Come on, Elijah. Talk to me. Y'all got your God. Why don't you call on him? Go ahead, call him. Call him. Call him. Call him. Cry out to him. Call him. Your son is getting his behind whooped in the street by the nation. Call him. Call him. Your son just got shot at the front door of somebody. Call him. Call your God. Call him. Your righteousness will be exposed. And what you have done won't help you. I'm tired of talking about him. Call him. He saves. He saves. You sing a song, he saves. He delivers. Call him. Why is it that when you call him, he's not answering you? Why are you afraid? Why are you scared to go to the grocery store? Scared to leave your house? Scared to let your children out of your sight? Why is it that when you see the red light go on, your whole being freezes? Because you're living in fear. Why is it that when those times come, it's different than when you are not being chastened and chastised? Then you want to say, oh, no weapon formed against me can prosper. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to expose your righteousness. When you cry, listen to it. When you cry, will those idols you gathered rescue you? Oh, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. When you cry, will Jesus Christ rescue you? Well, they just didn't worship right. They didn't come to church often. They just didn't. Well, what about you? They walking up in your church with guns. You gotta hire guards at the front door to keep wickedness out of your place of worship. How is it you can go to a prayer meeting on Tuesday night and somebody walks up there and shoots everybody in the house, but you calling on the name of Jesus? How does that happen? When you cry, will those idols you gathered rescue you? I'm just, oh, Rabbi, that's just your commentary. No. I'm trying to put perspective on the text. The wind will carry them all away. A puff of air will take them off. But you where is it? Come on, back to me. Come on to me. But you witches, you adulterers and whores, you who make fun of my people, at whom you are laughing and sticking out your tongue, just a brood of liars in heat. But you, puffed up. But right there, can you grasp the significant importance of where you are? But whoever takes refuge in me, who's the me? The me is not Jesus Christ. The me is Yahweh. The me is El. The me is Iye Asher Iye, the creator of all things. But he who takes refuge in me will possess the land and inherit my holy mountain. Guess who's not? You witches. I can't say it, but put a B on it. You idolatrous worshipers. You who have cast me off and removed your thought process far from me. You talk about you love me, but you don't do nothing I ask you to do. And your text says in John says, if you love me, you will keep my torah, my commandments. But you say that your lover has done away with them, so you don't have to do them no more. That's what your lover said. So every day is Sabbath to you. Every day is going to be hotty and never goodbye. Better think about that one. But whoever takes refuge in me will possess the land and inherit my holy mountain. Look at your possession. Look. You know what? Look. A little bit back there. I'll call it a little bit. She got her real estate license. She's going out trying to sell people land with a house on it. Everybody can't afford land with a house on it. Everybody can't afford it. The Most High said to you, I'm not trying to sell you land with a house on it. I'm going to give you an inheritance with a house on it. And not only am I going to give you a land with a house on it, I'm going to give you my set-apart mountain. What's on the set-apart mountain? What's on the set-apart mountain? What's on the set-apart mountain? Let's go back in our minds. King David built the first temple. It was magnificent. When you read the text and the temple was finished, you read the text and visualize. You're walking into the temple and you can visually see the Shekinah in the building. You can, come on. No. You can, you ain't getting it. But Charles, you can visually see the Shekinah in the building. His presence. You can see it moving around in the building. The interior structure overlaid with gold. Gold. Not 24 karat, not 14 karat. Don't know what the properties are. Gold. Gold. The beauty. Whoa. Come on. We're talking about your house of worship. Hell, we built this so many million dollar edifice. You built garbage. Compared to the inheritance of my whole. Now, let's get a picture here. Why were the children of Israel so distraught when they had to leave their house? Why were they so distraught when the Most High set fire to it and burnt it down? Why were they so distraught? Let me ask you a question. If you had a house overlaid in gold inside, and it was all looking like all of that, and somebody burned it down, and you had to leave, because you knew that you didn't have the finances to rebuild that, would you be distraught? Come on. Don't. It's just a fight. No, it ain't just a fight. Ain't just a thing. We put something into that house. I put my whole life savings into that house. I ain't got no more. Israel was distraught at the destruction of the temple that King David had built for the Shekinah to dwell in. Yeah. And under King Cyrus, when they went back into the land to rebuild the gates and the walls and rebuild the second temple, guess what they were? Oh, really? That was their attitude. Oh, really? You know why? Because they're thinking in their mind, this ain't what the first one looked like. And you want us to accept this. Okay. We've been released from captivity. We'll go worship in this house, but it ain't. See, you know what? You know what the old mothers will say? Cheryl, you get this one. Oh, it just ain't like the first one. Huh? Oh, it just ain't like the first one. But I'm going. So, there is a third temple and final temple, a house, that's going to be built in the day of redemption. Ezekiel tells us about it, its measurements, its rooms, and all the things that are going to be in it. Who's going to build? Oh, the nations are going to help build it. Now, let's get back. Then he will say, keep building. Keep building. Clear the way. Remove everything blocking my people's path. But we got to understand this particular, because he's not talking about a physical building here. Remember, what's the state? You're wicked. You're a bunch of witches. You're whores. You're unrighteous. You're a messed up people. But if you turn to me and you come back, I need you to continue to build on what you're doing and clear away all the stuff that's in your way. Get rid of all the idols. Get rid of all your idolatrous practices. Keep building. Building what? Keep building on Torah. Clear away. Remove everything blocking my people's path. Move it. Get it out of the way. You know why people can't accept what we teach? Because they can't remove everything blocking their path. I mean, in my visual mind, I see him like a basketball player on defense. You want to get away, and you think well, where'd you go last Sunday? I didn't see you at service last Sunday. Well, you went where? Oh, you shouldn't go there. You shouldn't listen to them. Move everything that's blocking the path. Get it out. You know what you got to do like a basketball player? You got to break through. For this says the high, exalted one, who lives forever, whose name is set apart. Where does he live? In the high and holy place. Now, let's understand what's happening here, because he says, but also with the broken and humble, in order to revive the spirit of the humble and to revive the hearts of the broken ones. Let's talk about that for a minute. He lives in a high exalted place. He lives in a high and set apart place. So he lives in the Shemayim. But while he lives in the Shemayim, he lives amongst us. Have we been broken? You say, well, I ain't never had nobody lay a stick to my back. I've never been threatened with being lynched. But I've been broken in so many other ways. Did you put your application in for a job and got passed over? Not because you weren't qualified, but just because you was a Hebrew. Did you go somewhere, to go in a store that you had a right to go in, and you're standing there waiting to be waited on, and they'd walk by you as if they don't see you? Broken. Trying to take your spirit away. And for a lot of our people, their spirit was broken. Did you go to the hospital? Did you receive A1 care? Did you receive the same kind of care that the nations got? No. No, you didn't. Broken. Broken. So he says, I live amongst you in the humble in order to revive your spirit and to revive the hearts of the broken ones. For I will not fight you forever or always nurse my anger. Because if I did, your spirits would think before me the creatures I myself have made. If I fought you forever, you wouldn't be able to sustain yourself. Now, let's talk about something. I opened this dissertation by talking about the Father's love. If I don't extend to you grace and mercy and long-suffering in your debauchery towards me, your spirits would faint before me. Let's look at this for a minute, okay? Our ancestors who came to this land and other lands and other places that have suffered being broken. When you think about the resilience of how they were able to sustain themselves in the heat and being treated like they weren't even a person, having their children killed before their eyes. Yet, when they were able to rise up, think of the resilience of your people and how strong they were. You and I are here today because of them. Don't get it twisted. If our great ancestors that came to this nation via the trade slave that allowed us and got their freedom and allowed for them to move forward and show forth their resilience, you and I would not be here. And we're here because of the grace and mercy of the Most High that he extended to his people. Because he said, I will not utterly destroy you. They may not have no torah like we do. But they knew their El. That's the reason why they could pray to Yah and not to some foreign god. You say, well, why didn't he help? He couldn't help them. He couldn't help them because he told them exactly what was going to happen to them. He told them, you're going to go to foreign lands. You're going to worship gods you have not known. Some of you are going to die. I can't help you. Watch this. Watch. Listen to this, okay? So, you're sick in your body, okay? Go to the doctor. Doctor tells you what's wrong. Tells you what you can do to fix it. Okay? But guess what you do? I ain't doing that. One of my best friends, he lived with me. And I loved him very much. And my children loved him also. They called him Uncle Major. Mays would be alive today if he wouldn't have had the idea that what the doctor was telling him to do was going to save his life. Bob, I can't do that. Man, why can't you do that? Man, that stuff messes with my ability to perform. I said, what? Your ability to perform? What? Your kidneys are failing. You got congestive heart failure, and you worry about performing. I can't take that. I can't take that high blood pressure medicine. Now here you come. Can you give me a kidney? Can you help me? The Most High says, I could have helped you, but you wouldn't listen to what I was telling you to do. It was because of your flagrant greed that I was angry and struck you, and I hid myself and was angry. Why did he save him coming across that man? I was angry. Why did he stop him from having strange fruit? Because I was angry. I could have, but I was angry. You know how people get when they're angry? Don't see you, can't hear you, can't help you. That's all about it. But you continued on your own rebellious ways. Have you seen their ways? And I will hit them. I will lead them and give them comfort to them and those who mourn for them. I will create the right words and give them peace, not only those that are there, but those who are far off, and to those nearby, says Yahweh. Come on. Can you hear love there? Do you hear love there? I'll heal you in spite. Have you seen their ways? Have you seen how they acted? Every Sunday, they worship in some other God except me. Oh, and they throw me in on the Father on the side. I'm like a sidecar. Oh, can I have a side shot? A booster? Father God. They don't even call me by my name. You know how disrespectful it is for a child not to call their father by his name? Yeah, the father says, I don't even call him by my name. Call me, oh God. He just He's just God. But let me get the B3 going, and let me get somebody out here rah, and jumping about Jesus, and here they come. Here they come. They all hopping ready. But for me, they don't do nothing. I'm just God. Oh, I'm going to talk about it. I've been there. I can talk. You know what Shaul said? Shaul said, I'm a Pharisee of Pharisee. With Pharisee speaking for parents. That's who I am. I was a Christian of Christians with Christian speaking parents. Unfortunately, I had a father who was devout and loved the Father enough beyond the idolatrous facet that the Most High said for him, I loved him. But I'll create words for peace for them, and those nearby, I will heal them. Oh. Oh. But you wicked are like restless sea, unable to be still, in waters tossed up, mud and dirt. Guess what I say to you? I say to you something that's different than I said to the righteous who die and people forget because I've taken them out so that they can have peace. I say to you, there will be no peace for the wicked. I have seen in my lifetime and heard in my lifetime how wicked people die. It is not a pretty sight. It is not anything that you want to hear. They leave this earth in anguish. They leave it in fear. They leave this earth in torment. They leave this earth screaming. You know why? Because they realize that they've come face to face with their judgment, and there's not anything they can do about it. That's not where you want to be. That's the reason why I say to you over and over again, learn how to guard your soul. The body is not going to pay the price for your wickedness. Your body is not. All the body is going to do is go to dust, and it's done. You have two components in you that are not visible. One is the spirit and pneuma that the Most High has given you to live, to give you life. And the other one is your soul. Guard it. Don't ever be seen as wicked in the eyes of them. What does that mean? As long as you live with the knowledge that you have about Torah, don't ever turn your back on the Father's Torah. Because when you do that, you have turned your back on him and you said this. Don't do it. Because there will never, ever be any peace for you. You get it? You get it? That's just how much the Most High loves you. And guess what he does? You know what a woman likes to hear? You know what a woman likes to hear? You know what she likes to hear? You know what she likes to hear? The vegan. You know what she likes to hear? She likes to hear you say, baby, I love you. And fellas, we can't say it enough. They thrive on knowing my man loves me. And the Most High, in His Word, repeats it over and over and over. Oh, you broke my heart, but I love you. You diss me, but I love you. What? Baby, what can I do to make you come back to me? What can I do? What can I give you? What can I do to entice you to just come back? Come back. I know. But just come back. Because guess what I can do? I can forget all your transgressions, and I can forget all your inhibitions. I can forget all the God that you lifted your skirt to on that mountain. I can forget all that. Just come back. Just come back. That's your L. That's your L. How about that, y'all? What say ye? Be strong. Be very strong. And never forget who you are. You are your father's children. That's your daddy. Love him. And trust the fact that he knows exactly what's best for you. And he's never, ever going to lead you somewhere that will destroy you. And when he tells you that I make the weapons that the nations use, but I also make the anti-weapon to destroy them, so that none of them will come against you and harm you. That's your daddy. I'm going to close with this. Your father is a bad shut your mouth. And don't let people talk about your father. Don't let it happen. When I'm around folks and they start wanting to put down Yahweh, no, I get real. Oh, no. We ain't going there. We ain't do that. Just because you don't know my father, you can't talk about him. And I'm sure not going to talk about him unless I'm saying something good. Well, Yerakaka, Yahweh ve'ishmeraka, Ya'er Yanef Palav Eleka, ve'yasa, Yahweh Panav Eleka, va'yasham Lakash Shalom. May Yahweh bless you. May Yahweh make his face to shine on you and show you favor every day. And may Yahweh lift up his face toward you and give you peace. Shalom.